Hello, I'm Jim Kennard. I'm going to be teaching you the Mittleiter method of growing. In this method, we can use either the soil or containers. Here we have soil, which we have built up about 12 to 16 inches. Next to me here we have grow boxes or containers. This is the second way of growing, and these are 8 inches deep and are filled with sawdust and sand or any other clean medium that you can get, such as peat moss, even pine needles, coconut husks, coffee hulls, rice hulls. Right in the middle, we will then place a string level and we will glue it in that spot. Using carpenter glue or something comparable, we actually have Gorilla Glue here. There are two kinds of fertilizers that we want to use. To begin with, we always apply something called a pre-plant mix. The primary ingredient in pre-plant mix is lime or gypsum. That's because they have calcium. And that's one of the secondary nutrients that is essential for plant growth. A very simple pre-plant mix formula is lime or gypsum, 80 parts, Epsom salt, 4 parts, and 20 multein borax, 1 part. The next thing we'll talk about is planting seeds. We'll start with small seeds like carrots, lettuce. Many of us, as we plant, we take it from the packet and we sprinkle it down the row, and then we spend half the year thinning those seedlings, trying to get the proper spacing. We've got what we think is a much better way to plant seeds, especially when you've got small seeds like this. For our example, we will use a teaspoon of carrot seed. Now, I don't know if you folks know how many seeds there are in a teaspoon. Probably 3,000 seeds in that teaspoon. How many carrots do you want to plant in a 10-foot bed? Both sides, that means 20 feet of carrots. If they're 1.5 inches apart, let's say 200 carrots in a 10-foot bed. Far too much seed, isn't it? If you will mix your seed with sand, 1 part seed, 100 parts sand. We're going to use 1/4 of a teaspoon of seed and 1/4 of the 16-ounce can, or 4 ounces. We're going to thoroughly mix that seed together with the sand. Let's assume that that's good. See, if you're holding both things still, you're not going to break that bit, because this isn't heavy material. Right. It's easy. The only thing that breaks the bit is if you twist it. But you should be able to drill your 900 holes with 1 bit and no trouble. And that's it. Let's just have dirt. Yeah. Okay. Using the handle of a rake or hoe, you just tamp that soil back down around the T-frame. And by the time you get that hole filled and tamped, that's pretty solid. Now, if you're using a 2x4 like we are, that's all you need to do. If you're using wire across these, the wire will tend to pull this in and you'll have to put a brace. A wire brace this way or a wooden brace that way. Better to have a wire brace out if you can, so that you're not in the way of your plants. The recommended soil mix for growing in grow boxes or containers is 1 part concrete sand, 2 parts sawdust or peat moss or perlite or any number of other things by volume. So it's basically a 2-to-1 mix, sawdust to sand or peat moss to sand. The sand that we'd like to use is the good concrete sand. It's not as fine as mortar sand and has a little bit of rock in it, but tiny rocks. This is to improve the drainage capacity of the soil.